Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to welcome Ms. Kinga Gál, first Vice-President of Patriots for Europe. As you can imagine, President Bardella couldn't join us today due to other commitments. We have translation in English, French and Hungarian. Without further delay, Ms. Vice President, the floor is yours.
Thank you for all of you being here today on our regular press conference. You have to take only me today, as President Bardella is in Paris. What I have to start with is saying that today marks the second anniversary of the brutal terrorist attack by Hamas against innocent Israelis, in which around 1,200 innocent people were killed and 251 were taken hostage. Patriots for Europe group stands in solidarity with the victims and their families and calls for the immediate release of all hostages. After 2 years, we still have to call for the immediate release of all hostages. In this context, we welcome President Trump's Gaza peace plan, which represents a comprehensive strategy and a real chance to bring peace and stability to the region. Finally, there could be a real opportunity to end the war and the suffering, and above all by releasing the hostages as soon as possible. The other issue what we are dealing with during this week, where the debate was taken place yesterday and the vote will be on Thursday, is the motion of censure of the Patriots for Europe group and of the left. As you have already seen, we had a joint debate yesterday. The votes will take place one after another on Thursday. What was clearly the intention of the Patriots when starting this whole motion of censure and gathering the required signatures, that we see that the European Union today is weaker than ever, that faulty decisions of the European Commission on the Green Deal, the recent trade agreements, or the Migration Pact are harming the continent's economy, threatening citizens' everyday security, and are endangering national sovereignty. The overreach by Brussels bureaucracy and the erosion of member states' sovereignty, the lack of transparency and accountability are further reasons why citizens' trust is decreasing in this Commission. And yesterday, when listening to the President of the Commission, our concerns were just underlined, because instead of providing answers to the problems of European citizens, to our farmers, businesses, families, the Commission President was talking about war, about Ukraine, and made clear that does not intend to change direction, does not intend to answer the demands of more and more Europeans. And what we see from concrete actions is disturbing too. In the new MFF, they would take money from farmers, reduce cohesion funds, while directing the money to war and Ukraine's enlargement. What we are saying that Europe's future is at stake, the next generation's lives are at stake. So what the Commission is now is, instead of being a solution to a crisis and problems, has become the problem itself. That is why we Patriots demand that Europe urgently needs a new leadership that represents the real interest of the people. So what we want to transmit as a message with our votes, that the Commission and the President of the Commission, for the Commission and the President of the Commission, that it is time to go. On immunity cases, we have votes today on several immunity cases. Among them were the cases of Péter Magyar, Ilaria Salis, among others. And what we have faced today is a political cover-up that undermines the credibility of the European Parliament itself. The decision of the Parliament is clear political choice, a textbook example of political shielding, and is not in line with the well-established immunity rules. These should have been clear cases, as the accusations have nothing to do with the MEP's mandate or happened way before said mandate was acquired. However, the handling of these cases in the Parliament were highly politicized from the beginning. So it shows that those who serve the mainstream political agenda, Brussels agenda, are untouchable, even when accused of serious misconduct or violent crimes. And this result is because of a corrupt alliance between the EPP and the left groups. And what we have to say, that is a very sad day for the victims, shame for the European Parliament, for justice and for rule of law. If you look what is a victim in the Ilaria Salis case. We are happy that, on the other hand, on the topical debate, we finally can have a debate on the future of our automotive industry, which is a crucial topic for the patriots. Looking at the current state of automotive industry, the survival of the strategic sector that provides jobs and prosperity to millions of our citizens is at stake. This is due to the faulty ideology-driven policies by the Commission, the Green Deal and soaring energy prices. Patriots have long been calling for a whole sovereign strategy that protects jobs, promotes innovation, and prioritizes European industry over ideology. We demand immediate action and a dramatic change in direction. Europe needs an industrial policy based on realism, not ideological dogma. I think that's for the most important issues on this week, and of course you are welcome for questions.
If you have any questions, please raise your hand and state your media company, please. Yeah.
It's Emanuele Bonaccorsi from RAI Italian Public Television. How did you vote on the rearm resolution, and why does a right-wing group like yours oppose rearmament? And how do you, what do you think about Europe's dependence on the USA arms industry? Yeah. How do you vote on resolution rearm resolution? And what do you think about Europe's dependence from USA arms industry?
We think that defending Europe and the defense of Europe is crucial. That's not a question. Sorry, I didn't really get the question. And this is not for the patriots, this is not in question, and we have to defend European interests also in this process. It is, of course, important that the national sovereignty is not misused in this case. So another crisis situation is not used by the Commission to grab more power in this issue, because here the responsibility at the end always keeps with the national governments, with the member states.
Hello, Thomas Mangin for Euractiv. I just have a question because today the Parliament voted to protect Ilaria Salis immunity. And I just wanted to know, does the Hungarian government intend to contest that decision before the EU Courts of Justice? And if that's the case, on what legal basis and what timeline? Thank you so much.
There is really a case which is shameful, and it's absolutely rightly questionable. And I think that will be a decision taken later and discussed later how the procedure will go on. To demand for the victims to get their right, this is always a shame, and the European Parliament helping in this backing.
Max?
Hi, Max Guerrero for Politico. Yesterday, I think it was Manfred Weber made this criticism of the Patriots, saying that you criticized the US deal, but then he asked, oh, but you're supposed to be close to Trump, close to the MAGA movement, so how have you helped at all in this situation with the US? So I wanted to ask you that. Have the Patriots helped somehow in this US trade deal to sort of try to get a better deal after all? Thank you.
I don't see contradiction in this, because what Trump dealt with and how he made this deal is good for the United States. But what we expected from our President of the Commission, from our Commissioner, is to have a deal which is clearly protected the interest of the European citizens.
Okay, thank you very much.